Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. If you guys didn't know, a few weeks ago, the Black Series teased the brand new Black Series Kyle Katarn, and this is such an amazing looking figure. He's been on the top of my wish list for the longest time. And with the release of some fan favorite characters like Savage Opress, the Super Battle Droid, the Droidica, Starkiller, there have been a ton of Holy Grail figures that have finally released into the Black Series, and that really made me think, what is my top 10 most wanted Black Series figures as of right now? And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Really quick though, at 20,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away this Force Unleashed 3-pack, and we are getting super close to that number. So if you do want a chance to win, make sure to 1, subscribe to the channel, because you do have to be subscribed to enter, and 2, once we hit 20,000 subscribers, I'll release a giveaway video. All you have to do is comment on that video to enter. Anyway, onto the video. At the number 10 spot, I gave it to Zam Wesell. This is a figure that I feel like is just kind of missing from the line. We don't get a ton of episode 2 figures to begin with, but she seems like a pretty big villain in the entire first act of the film, and we don't have her in the line yet. So I think this is the number 10 spot on my wish list, not because I think that she's super crucial, but I do like the character design. I think she's going to look great on the shelf with the rest of the bounty hunters, especially the brand new Jango Fett that's going to be coming out here in a few months. So yeah, I think Zam Wesell is a figure that we're just missing from the line. Next up, I actually gave it to the Shadow Stormtrooper from Battlefront 2015, and this is a little bit of a niche pick, but it's one of my favorite Stormtrooper designs ever. Now, we have gotten a Shadow Trooper in the Black Series before, but it's not specifically from Battlefront 2015. The one that we got came with the Shadow Squadrons 2-pack. It does have like a pauldron, and the lenses aren't like silver, they're black, and so it's a cool design, but I much prefer the Battlefront 2015 version where it's got the little Stormtrooper insignia on the chest and it's got these silver lenses. I think it's a very cool design, and I just love Battlefront 2015, and so I've got a lot of nostalgia for the game, and I'd love to see a figure for it. I think if they wanted to do something really cool too, they could do like some kind of limited or exclusive version where it's got like half translucent plastic. I'll throw up a loading screen from the game of what it kind of looks like when he's going invisible. But yeah, if you can kind of do some like clear translucent legs for this guy, it'd be super cool, and I just love to see something like this come to the Black Series. Up next, I gave it to Dirge, and Dirge is a very, very interesting character. Of course, he is from the 2003 2D animated Clone Wars, so very niche figure. Not a lot of people have seen the Clone Wars, and if you haven't seen the 2D Clone Wars, I highly suggest you go watch it because it's awesome. But regardless, Dirge is a very intimidating character. He's a very large character too, and so if we did get him in the line, he'd probably be a deluxe figure, or even maybe made to order, just because I think he's large and he's large enough to warrant that price. And so regardless, I really want to see him in the line though. He's pretty important to the 2D Clone Wars, and I think he would just be great in figure form. So yeah, he's definitely on my wish list. At the number 7 spot, I gave it to Ula. Now, Ula doesn't play a huge role in episode 6, but I think her character is iconic enough to warrant a figure. We pretty much get background aliens all the time, and so I think she is a perfect choice for a figure to come to the Black Series. And I especially want her in the line because I like to put the Boushh Leia on display for a Jabba's Palace display, and so I think an Ula would be great to go on display at the same time, because it's hard to display both, you know, like a Boushh Leia and a Slave Leia, so I think Ula would be great to go in there and take that place. So yeah, she's definitely on my wish list. I know there's some controversy around the character, but I don't see any reason why Hasbro couldn't do some kind of like fan channel exclusive, so that way it's actually not on like store shelves. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely on my wish list, and I hope Hasbro does get to it eventually. At the number 6 spot, I gave it to Queen Amidala, specifically from, of course, episode 1. I think this is by far Padme's most iconic outfit. Obviously, it's the white face with the red dress. It's a very like iconic outfit for her, and it's obviously the face of all the posters from episode 1. And so it's just one of those figures that it feels like it's missing. We got the different version of Padme in the line already from episode 1, and it's a cool outfit. It's one that we do see her wear a little bit, but it's not the episode 1 version of Padme, and so I think this is one that's really important to get in the line. I'm not sure if they would do a hard plastic for it and kind of make her like a traffic cone, or if they would do some soft goods for the dress, but either way, I just think it's important that we get her in the line at some point or another. But yeah, this is definitely one that's on the wish list, and I hope we get her at some point. At the number 5 spot, this one goes out to our friends over at the Out of the Basement channel, and that's because the number 5 spot goes to Max Rebo. Max Rebo is just one of those characters that he's a lot of fun, and obviously he's really only ever in the background. We see him in Return of the Jedi and, of course, the Book of Boba Fett, and we actually don't know if he survives the Book of Boba Fett. I'm hoping that he does. But yeah, he's just a cool little blue alien, and we get plenty of background aliens in the line. We get Cantina aliens, but not a ton of Jabba's Palace aliens, and so I think this would be a great chance to get some more Jabba's Palace aliens, and I think he is definitely the flagship of Jabba's Palace aliens, if that's how you want to put it. But yeah, he's a cool character, and I feel like he's definitely missing from the line when it comes to Episode 6 figures. At the number 4 spot, I gave it to a brand new sculpt for Slave Leia. They originally made this figure back in, it would have been the first year Black Series ever happened, which was 2013, and the figure really sucks. The articulation is super outdated, the sculpting sucks, and she is severely underscaled too for 6-inch scale, and so we just desperately need a new version of her. Now again, I know the controversy around the outfit and the character, and so I'm really hoping that they find a way to do her. It makes sense that they've been kind of putting it off, but I think there are plenty of opportunities to do like either a fan channel exclusive or made to order Hasbro Pulse exclusive. There's definitely ways that they can release this without actually putting it on store shelves, so this one is definitely on the list. At the number 3 spot, I had to give it to the 41st Elite Scout Trooper. This is one of the coolest clone trooper designs we've ever gotten in all of Star Wars. It's basically the Scout Trooper from Return of the Jedi, but he does have a slightly different helmet, and of course he's in all camo, and the camo is super cool. I love when they do camo on clone troopers, and so I absolutely love the design for this guy, and I feel like he is a decent sized part of Episode 3, and so I'd love to see him in figure form. Hasbro could reuse the already existing Scout Trooper body. It does have good articulation, but it does have the double jointed pinned arms and legs, meaning it's just a little outdated. I'd love to see them make a completely brand new sculpt for this figure, and then they could reuse bits and pieces for the standard Scout Trooper if they wanted to put out a new version of that. So that's definitely what I'm hoping for. I don't know if they'll do it or not, but I think this is one that we need in the line. At the number 2 spot, it goes to Lord Starkiller. Lord Starkiller is one of the coolest designs that we ever got for Starkiller. I believe this one is based off of his like Force Unleashed 1 appearance. I don't know if he has a Force Unleashed 2 appearance for this. I could be wrong though, so correct me if I am. But yeah, I really like this outfit. I think it's one of his most iconic outfits, other than maybe his standard Sith outfit. So that being the case, I think he does deserve a figure in the line. The standard outfit for Starkiller has sold pretty well. Obviously, it did get the deluxe set and the standard release, and I think that the Lord Starkiller version would sell just as well. And plus, it's just intimidating, so I'd love to see it come to the line, and it's number 2 on my wish list. And then at the number 1 spot, it goes to Commander Neo. I think that Commander Neo is the last Revenge of the Sith clone commander that we need in the line, because we just got Bakara this year. I really do like Bakara, but I think Commander Neo is just as cool, and I'm really happy that we're almost to that point where we're getting all of the essential clone troopers that we need. There are obviously still some background clones from the Clone Wars that we need in the line, but we're almost done with checking off the movie-accurate clones, and I think he is one of the coolest designs from the movies with that unique like specialist helmet. And overall, I'd love to see him come with the speeder bike as well, that Bark Speeder. I don't know if that'll be the case. I think he's pretty iconic and he's pretty known for his Bark Speeder, but I'm not sure if Hasbro's going to release it with that. Either way, though, I think this is an easy one for them to do because they pretty much have all the parts to do it. They already have that clone body, just a new helmet and maybe some new like straps and bits and pieces to go on him. But yeah, he's a cool figure, and I think he's going to go great in the line when Hasbro does decide to make him, because I think at this point it is pretty inevitable. They'll make him at some point or another. But I would love to know what your guys' top 10 most wanted Black Series figures are. These are mine, and of course these are my opinion, but I'd love to know what you guys have to think. So let me know down in the comments below what are your top 10 most wanted Black Series figures, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.